Start the game off, you want to have a winner, you want to play well. We had opportunities. We talk a lot about finishing. We didn't finish the way we would like. A lead, 20-3 lead at home. You would like to think that you could finish that off, but we didn't. Some good things we did early on to get 20 points. Offensively, O.J. Howard coming in, making an impact right away the way he did. But never really got the running game going completely, so the passing game can help an awful lot. Passing the ball, though, and I thought the big sack there where we had the turnover, I think we were +2 at the time, turnover ratio-wise, that really kind of gave them momentum going the other direction. Then we were holding on at the end. Both teams were, a little tired there at the end. So we had control. They had control, of course, with the field goal. And once they missed it, we had an opportunity. On the third down play, before the fourth down play, we had, the plan wasn't to lose, of course, yards on that. And I made a decision on 4th and 3. And there's a lot of football left to go in the season. It's kind of simple as that. And I feel like a tie was better than a potential loss. Defensively, we weren't really stopping them off a lot there at the end. Take your question.
Lovie, it was 4th and 3. Did you hesitate before you decided to punt?
Yeah, well, we thought about it. I knew if we didn't get it, they had time, of course. And at the time, it's not like we were playing our best defense then. So we had made it. We had been in position. Just felt like there, based on what all had happened in the game, that was the right decision.
First half, you all went to Damian Pierce a lot more, but then started going to Rex Burkhead. Why was that the case?
Well, as we look at the plays now, of course, Rex, of course, got a chance to carry the ball more. But, Rex, when we're, passing plays, passing situation, Rex was our lead back in that situation. So that's kind of what happened. In an ideal world, of course, you would, when you have a lead, you would like for that not to be the case. Once they came back at the end, that's when the numbers start changing a little bit.
In terms of the momentum, the sack and forced fumble, what did you feel like that did in terms of the complexion of the game, how that changed that?
Well, it changed it completely. We had control. And then it was by playing field position, us not turning the ball over, especially in a favorable position, which we did. So those are things you have to clean up from week 1 to 2. That can cost you. If not cost you with the loss, at least force you to tie.
Lovie, with that sack, with Davis Mills, the fumble there, what did you see with that, and where was the miscommunication?
I have to watch the video a little bit, but when a guy come clean like that on the backside, you kind of figure out, maybe who the culprit was, but I didn't see it. So we'll watch the video and see from there. Bad, no matter what the situation, bad on our part.
Lovie, you said before the over here, Lovie. You said before the 4th down decision to punt that if you had not lost yards, would you have gone for it then?
Yeah, it felt like we had 2 plays that were in a 2, it was 2 down territory as I looked at it then before the loss, and again just made the decision based on us losing those yards. That's what we should do.
Lovie over here. The decision to punt, why not just go for it on 4th down to try to see if you can get in field goal range instead of just punting and just settling for the tie?
Because I feel like a tie was better than a loss in that situation. It's a decision that you make. If you were guaranteed that we were going to get it, then it was good. But if you miss it right there, and they had stuffed us on the play, they have one play and they're in position. It's not like we were playing our best defense at the time. We were drained. We were gassed a little bit. So that's how it goes. In an ideal world, you don't want a loss. You want to win. But if you can't get the win, and sometimes you settle for the tie. A lot of football left to go in the season.
Lovie, Kenyon worked in with the first team offense during several quarters. Was that because you just wanted to see him work in, or was anything going on with Justin?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Kenyon Green working with the first team offense. Was that the game plan for the get-go?
Yes. Yes, it's been a game plan. Kenyon, had an injury in training camp, kind of knocked him back a little bit, but he's going to be our guard. rookie coming in. We had a plan when to get him in and then playing from there.
Lovie, start of the fourth quarter, you guys have roughly something that might be in Kaime's field goal range. You decide to take the leg in on the ball. What goes into the decision-making there on deciding to punt versus giving Kaime an opportunity there?
Well, it was like you said, roughly in his range. Didn't feel like that was it at the time. Felt like, backing him up, playing defense was our best option then.
Lovie, once you got the 20-3 lead and the momentum switched the other way, did the Colts do anything different offensively than what you've seen?
No, of course we talked about the turnover that really hurt us. But besides that, no. The last drive maybe the most disappointing drive defensively was the last drive that they scored running the football. And we just didn't tackle well. They had to go a longer, distance for it. Again, that was our worst ball right there defensively was on that drive.
Lovie, it's not a secret that the Colts were favored during this game. Were you encouraged with what you saw from your guys in the first 3 quarters?
Definitely were encouraged the first 3. We're definitely underdogs, and this is a team that's supposed to, do great things. Felt like we matched up pretty good. When you play a team like that and you lead without a loss, it's just how it happened as much as anything. But there's a lot of things for us to build on. When you get a lead like that, some good things had to happen on both sides of the football and special teams. So that's what we'll build on. Normally the biggest game during the season is from week 1 to week 2, and hopefully against the Broncos that'll be the case for us.
We'll close with these two.
Coach, obviously you're disappointed with the loss, but talk about the 2 guys, rookies in the secondary. Talk about how they played today.
Well, how they've been playing throughout. Good football players. Everybody has to get your first game, first action under your belt. But, I think they played about 20 plays is the most that they've had today to be able to play the entire game, and didn't really cost us, where they were supposed to be most of the time. So encouraged by the start, excited about what we're going to see in the future from both of them.
Last one.
I believe this was Davis Mills' 12th start in the NFL, still pretty wet behind the ears, but showed well early in the game. On those sailed passes towards the sideline and also after the fumble, do you feel like you got a little gun shy in the pocket?
Well, I can't say gun shy. None of us, we didn't. I didn't coach my best ball at the end. We didn't finish the way we need to. Davis is a part of that. Looking at it on the other hand, for us to be able to get that lead, Davis had to do some good things. So we're going to build on those good things. Going to learn an awful lot from this game, but we'll recover.
Go ahead, John.
Bobby, could you tell us about your plan for Driscoll and the way you used him, and do you think he'll be active for every game now?
Well, most people probably didn't have him being active today. And whenever you can put someone in like that at quarterback, it's different than Davis. And the play that we ran just felt like we could give us, we have a run-pass option guy when you put him in. And that was a big play where he came in for. So we'll have that option available each week. We'll see how it goes next week.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Performance, where would you like him if he needs to improve?
Very proud of Davis. You could just tell the way that he played today. There's so many. It's a big leap on where he was from last year to this year, and we all got to improve in some sort of way.
And then when you look at the fourth quarter, did you notice anything different that Stephon or any of the secondary members?
No. Obviously they got a great secondary, but truly at the end of the day, there was a lot going on from us, biting ourselves in the foot, and quite frankly, we just can't do that.
Randy, you guys were favored to lose and you led 23 in the fourth quarter. How frustrating is it to have to accept a tie after you were leading like you were?
Obviously it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, we got to trust, coach in that instance. At the end of the day, the facts are the offense had plenty of chances to be able to not have to do that, and we didn't capitalize, and we just got to be better.
Randy, can you talk about what you've seen from this wide receiving core, especially from Chris Moore?
Yeah, I mean, the receiving core, like I've always said, we got a great group of men and guys that play for one another in selfless football, and they all can just play at a high level, and I think you see some of those guys, stepping up in big-time moments.
Brandon, how big was the sack fumble? Could you feel that changing the momentum?
I mean, it was huge. Obviously, as an offense, you never want to turn the ball over, and we were doing such a great job up until that moment. But, it happened. We got to be better around him so, we don't have those instances. But we got to be able to come back. Like I said, we had chances to capitalize, and we just didn't from there on.
Obviously, the offense struggled a lot in the fourth quarter. How much do you think that played into allowing the Colts to come back?
I mean, huge. At the end of the day, our defense is doing such a great job. We got to be able to score points, and that's what we expect of ourselves. And like I said, we just got to be better.
Anything else?
What were some of those self-inflicting wounds that you feel that was you guys were doing on offense that allowed, because you said that defense didn't really do that much, but it was more like you guys shooting yourselves in the foot. What were those things?
Penalties, the name of the game. Anytime you got penalties, especially late in the game, that's going to hurt you.
Brandon, in overtime, there was 2 plays trying to get 1 yard. Is it a little frustrating to settle for a tie when you know that you potentially could go for it?
Like I said earlier, we had our chances, especially before that moment on 4th down. We got to have that mindset to be able to go get that yard. All 11 guys on the field, and we quite frankly didn't do that. So.
Brandon, I know you just mentioned a couple times that you guys did have your chances, but what was your initial reaction when you saw the punt team come out on that 4th down?
I mean, obviously as a competitor, you want to be able to go for it, but that's where you trust your coach in that instance. Coach Lovie's seen a lot of ball, and at the end of the day, whatever he says, we trust that and we keep it pushing.
Brandon, what did you see out of Pep Hamilton's play calling as the offensive coordinator in this first game?
I thought it was awesome. He was efficient. He put us in positions to be able to make plays, drive the ball down the field, and simple, and, let the players go out there and play, and that's what you like to see.
Good?
Yeah.
So, what would you say your biggest takeaway after a game like this? A lot to take in, but what was your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, I felt it. It's a different team. You know what I mean? And the work that we've been putting in over the summer and the spring has showed up, but obviously there's some more to go. And, we're going to keep pushing, keep knocking at that door, and keep getting better every single week. And I love what we got, no doubt. All right.
Question? James, you guys were going well. You up 20. What happened after the sack and the fumble offensively?
Yeah, you just felt some momentum change after that play. Felt like we just got to maintain what we had moving in the first half and going into the third quarter on offense. We're close. That's situational football. That's what matters. Kicked 2 field goals tonight when we went down there. We got to convert those into touchdowns. And just got to continue to execute, be better on 3rd down, be better running the football, be better. I got to be more efficient as well. So I think we're close. We got a lot of work on. We're happy with where we're at, but we know we got to keep pushing forward and change the result into a win.
Davis, when you look at that on the 3rd down play for 3rd and 1, and they try to run the ball, and you've been trying to get the pass going, is it a little frustrating that they're not trusting you to get that 1 yard?
Not necessarily. I think, we're confident in our guys we have up front and our running backs to be able to make a 3rd down conversion in the run game, be able to mix it up that way. I don't think there's anything to look at too much deeper than that.
And then Brandon said multiple times that you guys had opportunities to try and steal the game away, but is it a little frustrating to see the punt team come out when you were just a yard short of trying to convert?
I think so. I think we want to execute better on offense. I respect Coach's decision to do what he did, but when it comes down to it, I think it was on us. We could have been better on 1st and 2nd down and on 3rd down to convert. So it's on us too.
It looks like maybe you guys lost a little bit of gas there in the 4th quarter. What would you say was kind of the Achilles heel there?
Yeah, I think it's just continuing to execute and do our jobs. Situational football is a big thing for us. 3rd down, red zone, those got to have it moments, 2-minute drives. We just got to continue executing and doing our jobs in those situations so we can keep driving the football.
The first quarter, you guys offensively started slow. In the 4th quarter, you guys struggled down the stretch and in overtime. What were the biggest reasons for those issues?
Like I said, I think simple execution. You got to be on the same page with my receivers on sometimes. I thought I could have held on to the ball a little bit longer. The offensive line, for the most part of the game, did a really good job protecting their guys. I had time all night. Stuff like that, just simple execution that, I mean, we can continue to work on and stress. I think overall we're close. That was a football team that practically shut us out 2 times last year, and I thought we played well the whole night. Defense, special teams played well. Offense, we did some really good things, but I mean, the result shows we got a lot to work on, and I mean, we're ready for it.
Now, speaking of those miscommunications a little bit, several times throughout the game, those sideline routes to different receivers, you were selling those a little high, and then also after the fumble, seems like you got a little jumpy or happy feet in the pocket, and this one those you typically have. Can you walk us through that, and if the pressure or what changed there in the fourth quarter?
I mean, I don't think anything changed after the fumble. I still got to continue to do my job. Like you said, mentioned kind of off on some of those sideline routes. Some of them I was trying to get the ball out early, so I'm not taking hits and taking sacks from my offensive line and trying to anticipate. Stuff like that will continue to stress the timing, and I'll get better at the ball placement.
Well, Davis, considering the fact certainly that you did build up a big lead and then had to go into overtime, obviously everybody's disappointed in that, but at the same time, it looked like almost certainly you were going to lose, and then the Colts missed that field goal. So you got to take some positive out of this thing as well, that you did at least preserve the tie. Yeah,
definitely. It's a long season ahead of us. A tie is always better than a loss. When it comes down to it, could change some things at the end of the season in the division. So that'll be big. But I think our guys are. After this, we get a bad feeling from this, and we're ready to go out and change the result next time.
All right, last 2.
But how did you feel, because you know you could have won this game? How disappointed are you?
Definitely disappointed. We knew we could win. We put ourselves in a good spot, and then, taking responsibility on offense, I think we could have played better later in the game and capitalized on some of our opportunities, because their opportunities were there. But, I'm ready to go watch the film and learn from it and move on to next week.
Last one, Cole.
O.J. Howard, I know it's been very brief time working together, but for him to have 2 touchdowns and for you to build that chemistry, where do you see this offense going forward, and especially as a security blanket on 3rd downs?
Yeah, he's came in really last week and got to work, put his head down, and I think he's in a really good spot right now. Made some big-time plays tonight or this afternoon, and I think we have a ton of guys across the field that we can utilize in every situation, and having him as an addition, is going to help a lot of that.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
What did you see on the interception with Matt?
Just a lot of green field. I wasn't sure how close Taylor was to me, so I felt like if I could kind of get Matt to kind of open his hips and run the opposite way, I should have a lot of green grass to score, but I guess he made a tackle, and that doesn't really happen too often on D linemen, so I got to be better.
And then when you look at the fourth quarters in general, did you feel as if it was just some rookie mistakes from younger players or just some inconsistencies? What do you think was one of the main problems?
We got to learn how to close games out. We were up on those guys in the start of the second half. The fourth quarter, we got to shut the door as a defense. When you got someone on the run, when you got your foot on their neck, you got to be able to squeeze and just solidify the game. We didn't do it this evening. We got to learn from this game so we can figure out ways to close games, because that's the only way you're going to win in the NFL is in that fourth quarter.
Jerry, can you talk about this team's run defense? I know leading up to this game, Coach Lovie Smith and Miles Smith both talked about the improvements that they made to, the run defense. And it was good at the first 3 quarters, but in that fourth quarter, it just kind of fell apart.
Yeah. We started off strong. The crowd did a great job of just energizing us that first half. We got to just stay with it in the second half, do a better job. We got to understand that, their backs against the wall. They don't want to lose coming out of the half down 20-3. So, for us, we got to understand that when you got someone on the run, we got to finish them off, and we didn't do that this evening.
Jerry, did they do anything differently offensively in that fourth quarter?
They picked up the tempo. Matt was making some great line of scrimmage checks. We were getting out of our gaps up front. We got to be just a little bit more disciplined in that quarter. We got to understand when the fourth quarter is on the rise like that, that's got to be our best football, and it just wasn't today.
Okay, Cole?
Lovie said that sometimes it's easier to accept a tie than it is a loss. Do you agree with that sentiment, or is it just because of you know that you had a chance to keep the lead that it's a little bit more frustrating?
No, I agree with Coach. This is going to give us a great opportunity to learn. The new overtime rules were put into effect this evening, so that gives us another opportunity to learn, how to play in the fifth quarter there. But, for us, it's just all about finishing. That's something that Coach preached all training camp, and, we still got to figure out a way to do that. Week one, we didn't get a chance to do that, but we got the Broncos coming up fast, so we got to turn the page and get ready for those guys, and we got to finish just because in this league, if you don't, the fourth quarter can turn the game open.
All right, thanks, Jerry.
Yep.
Thank you.